Hey, hi, I'm Clo Sky, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Blue. In the last episode, we wandered around Viridian City, and we caught Fletch. I did a little bit of leveling off screen, just to get them both up to par. Well, Fletch isn't done yet. I did also manage to catch a male Nidoran, which I wish I'd gotten on recording, but I forgot to. And just to sort of prove it, we're gonna take a quick trip to the Pokemon Center. And we're just gonna pretend. We're gonna pretend to withdraw, yeah. See? Nidoran, male. Turns out it's just really, really hard to find him, and I was having a little bit of Let's Play bad luck. In this episode, we're gonna head on up northwards to Viridian Forest. Not much to say around these parts. This little patch of grass right here is home to a few different Pokemon that we can find both inside and outside of the forest, but because we can find them both inside the forest, I'm just gonna, well, most of them inside/outside of the forest, I'm just gonna cover them as we encounter them here in... Oh. Well, lovely. This is Viridian Forest. I came here with some friends. They're out for Pokemon fights. That might be, useful later. We're actually looking for specific 2 Pokemon here, and while they are, well, one of them, you can find them both in different places, it's just easier to... This item here is a Pokeball. It's just easier to find them here, relatively speaking, if they'll pop up out of the grass. Oh, right. Yeah, forgot about that. This is why we caught Fletch, by the way. After this particular little area, we're probably not going to be using Fletch again. This is not what we were looking for, but this is Metapod. It's a cocoon Pokemon, one of 2, and it's got decent stats. My advice to you is if you want something that can, I don't know, defend itself, yeah, go ahead. But, wild Metapods like these can't attack. They only have one move, and that's Harden. And if you want something that will harden forever, that'll be great. But you're better off going for something. Well, you're better off going for its pre-evolved form, Caterpie, which is this little cutie right here. Caterpie is a caterpillar Pokemon, or more commonly called here, the worm Pokemon. It has stats. It definitely gets better as it evolves. It's a good Pokemon to have early on because of, well, an upcoming event. That being said, I actually do not want to hurt this one because we are, in fact, catching Caterpie for ourselves. Okay. This time we're catching Caterpie. Oh, you little... I didn't mean to do that. We're on Caterpie. It's actually got the same name in English as it does in Japan. And why do I keep freaking using Growl? I don't mean to be using Growl. Oh, it's using string... I'll cover that when we catch it. Just... Okay, Growl did do something useful. Please don't kill it. Please don't kill it. Please don't kill it. Please don't... Frick. Okay, the next Caterpie we come across, we're gonna catch. On average, Caterpies, they're fast for little bugs. Weedles are slightly faster, a little harder to find in blue, but they're faster. Caterpie kind of gets the short end of the stick on a lot of occasions. I'm gonna find a slightly tougher Caterpie. Last time we found a level 3 Caterpie, it fainted on us. All of these Metapods technically should not be Metapods. And I'll get into that in a moment. Oh, you little... Yeah. There we go. That's just gonna make it freaking harder to catch freaking Caterpie. I'm very tempted to speed things up just a little bit, but I'm not going to. Not unless it starts becoming, you know, I don't know, 6 minutes in and we still haven't found anything. Ah, this is much more our speed. We're just gonna growl you into the ground. I don't want to actually hurt it. Rafflesia. Rafflesia. We are going to be switching to Rafflesia. I should have done that before. Rafflesia is still the same old Bulbasaur. He hasn't learned anything new, and well, actually, it could be a she. I'm not going to go into it. Actually, I will in a moment. There we go. Caterpie aren't that hard to catch. It just seems I'm having a little bit of bad luck. Oh, there we go. Caterpie. Caterpie. New Pokedex data. Wonderful. Caterpie, the worm Pokemon. Its short feet are tipped with suction pads that enable it to tirelessly climb slopes and walls. We are indeed going to give a nickname to Caterpie. I forgot what kind of Butterfrees are actually based on. I can't remember if it's Cabbage White or Pale Sulfur butterflies that they're based off of. So we're just going to name him Cabbage. This might seem a little weird, but there is actually a species of butterfly out there called cabbage whites who eat cabbages, hence their name. They're normally considered pests, and they have a sort of similar appearance to Butterfree. I believe it's either that one or Pale Sulfurs. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, like I said, they're in the stats department. Even Rafflesia had better stats when he was this level. But he does have a pretty good speed stat, which is actually Cabbage's best bet at, well, that's his best bet in battle. That's what he can do. I'm going to take a quick trip to the Pokemon Center. And you might recall that I said the Metapods in the forest are a little bit strange. They're underleveled. Normally, Caterpies don't evolve into Metapod until level 7, and then again at level 10 into Butterfree. Those level 5 Metapods that you keep finding in the forest are not supposed to be Metapods. They're still supposed to be Caterpies. This happens quite a bit, and I'll try not to point it out every time it happens, but it does actually happen a surprising amount. And now let's take an in-depth look at two of our Pokemon. I meant to do this with Fletch, and I did not. Fletch, he's pretty good at attacking, and he's pretty fast. But I didn't go over his moves. Peck, it's a flying type tackle. He is going to ram his sharp little beak into his opponent viciously. And that's about it. Growl, I've already covered. Oh, shoot. Cabbage, on the other hand, knows Tackle and String Shot. String Shot works a little differently than Growl, but it has a similar function. Instead of lowering your opponent's attack, it lowers speed. The faster you are, in comparison to your opponent, speed determines who goes first. And that can be the difference between a win and a loss. That being said, we're gonna go get some more Pokeballs, actually. I only want to catch one other Pokemon in this darned forest. We're gonna catch... We are going to catch it. I swear, we are going to catch it. When we actually get there, I am going to be speeding up just a little bit because, well, you might already have an idea of what I'm trying to catch. It's very hard to find. I mean, really hard. Well, not really hard. It's easier to find it in another location, but this is the earliest we can get it, and I really want one on my team. I'm talking about Pikachu. Call me a Pikachu fangirl or whatever. I like Pikachu for a lot of reasons. There we go. We're just gonna speed up just a little bit. That might sound weird. Double time music does sound interesting, though. Ah, here we go. Ah, Kakuna! Kakuna is the... Well, I wouldn't say the... Kakuna evolves from Weedle. And Weedle we actually haven't seen. Kakunas evolve into Beedrills. Kakunas themselves are just like Metapods here. They are underleveled, which is weird, and only know Harden. They don't know Poison Sting, or String Shot, or anything else for that matter, except for Harden. Which makes them a little hard to defeat, but if you do, you get a nice amount of experience points, which is why I'm still fighting it with Cabbage. My bad. I have some water on hand. Stats-wise, it's defensive, like most Cocoon Pokemon are. In fact, it's not quite as defensive as Metapod, but it has strengths elsewhere, namely when it evolves. I have a feeling this is... Ah, you might have noticed that it said nothing happened there. Right here. Nothing happened. When you see this message, it means a Pokemon has reached the highest possible or lowest possible stat as it is. Cocoon has raised its defense so high, they won't go any higher. They changed that later when in later generations. When it actually says your defense is too high to be raised further. Metapod is similar in the fact that you're going to get a lot of experience points for fighting it, so I'm going to just speed my way through these battles too. As you would expect, certain Pokemon are faster than their pre-evolved forms. Cabbage is not as fast as Metapod. This is because Metapod is actually a bit faster than it is. I really can't say anything during this kind of a battle. I might cut it out if I can figure out how to. I'm not very good at editing video, unfortunately. I'm still learning. Okay, there we go. Like I said, Caterpies don't evolve until level 7. You might have also noticed, if you had really sharp vision, Tackle doesn't have any more power points. Well, how do we fix this? It seems really stupid that this happens, but we aren't going to be buying any ethers or elixirs. You actually can't buy elixir, you have to find it. But if you want to restore your Pokemon's power points this early in the game, you're going to be heading right back here to the Pokemon Center. Normal people would just, you know, go through the go to the grass to raise a Caterpie. No, not me. I'm going to be stupid about it. I'm going to freaking go back to the forest because there's always the possibility of me finding that elusive Pikachu. You might be wondering, why do I want Pikachu so bad? I would normally cover this while I have the Pikachu on the screen, but I don't. So I'm just going to say it now. Pikachus, not only are they very hard to find, they're ridiculously fast. I mean, even a Butterfree or a Beedrill, which are easy to get at this point in the game, aren't as fast as Pikachu. Pikachu also has the handy electric type, which is great in a lot of situations later on. It's pretty versatile for an electric type. It's almost evenly balanced between attack and special. Its defenses and HP aren't anything to, well, they're not something to write home about. So you want something that's fast, can deal a lot of damage in either attack or special, then you're going to want to try to find a Pikachu, even though it doesn't exactly have the best defenses. It can't take hits quite that well. But, I mean, I'm probably, if I find one, I might end up having to actually catch it off screen because this video is starting to run a little long and I really don't want to go over 20 minutes. So if I don't find it within the next 4 minutes or so, then I'm going to catch it off screen and call this video sort of a bust because because I wasn't able to catch it. I would love to just find it, catch it, go through the rest of the forest, but if I can't, then I'll catch it off screen and that'll be tomorrow's episode, the rest of the forest. The hard part is actually finding Pikachu. Like I said, I don't really know how to frickin' video edit. Oh, I just realized something. That's a lot easier, huh? Trying to find the longest stretch of grass that's uninterrupted, but I think it's this one. We actually haven't seen a Weedle yet. I kind of like Weedles, they're adorable. I don't like to use them. I prefer Butterfrees because they have a little bit more versatility, and I've never really raised a Beedrill. They're a little harder to find in blue. They're a little easier to find in red, just like it is with the frickin' Nidorans. Was right all along with that one, wasn't I? Now that I think about it. Oh, for the love of... I should have planned in the event that I wouldn't be able to find a Pikachu. Every Pokemon has a certain percentage of showing itself. As you might have guessed, Metapod and Caterpie have high percentages of showing up, making them pretty common. Weedle and Kakuna, not so much. And poor little Pikachu, the one I'm wanting to find so very badly, only has a 3% chance of showing up. Thank you, whoever's watching. I managed to find Pikachu. Pikachu does not have its ability in this generation. Oh, thank God, it's easy to catch. Oh, ow. Yeah. Thundershock is going to be its main method of hurting anything at this point. It's not a terrible move. It's actually a really, really good move, in my opinion. Thank God. Pikachu, number 25 in the Pokedex. If I'm remembering correctly, it's 2 feet. Okay, I was off by 6 inches. Not 6. I'm forgetting my math. Anyway, Pikachu, the mouse Pokemon. When several of these Pokemon gather, their electricity can build and cause lightning storms. We are going to give a name to Pikachu. Pikachu is also one of those rare Pokemon whose English name is also identical to their Japanese name and pretty much any other language name, which is actually really rare for Pokemon. If I'm not mistaken, these guys, if you translate their names into English, Pika Pika is the onomatopoeia in Japanese for something that's sparking or sparkling. Chew is also the onomatopoeia for the sound that a mouse makes, or kissing. So for that reason, we're going to be naming this little feller Sparkler. And I think this is a good stopping point for now. Next time on Let's Play Pokemon Blue, we're going to be going through Viridian Forest for real this time and not just catching Pokemon. We'll see you then!